Hi, my name's Molly. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Purpose, where that's what we talk about. What's our purpose here on this earth? And you know what I think it is. If you've been watching my videos, you think I believe, or you know that I believe we're only put on this earth to love God and love each other. Well, I'm going to stray away from where we left off with Abram and Sarai and Lot. And I'm going to talk about why I'm doing this YouTube channel a little bit more. I was in church today, it's Sunday, when I'm making this video. And the readings were from Matthew chapter 16, verse 15, where Jesus is talking to his apostles. He's been doing all these signs, these miracles all over. He's been healing people. He's been teaching them. He's been talking with authority and saying things like he really knows what he's talking about. And finally, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. And Jesus is like, I've been here a while, y'all. You know who I am, so let's get to it. Let's just put all our cards on the table. And Jesus asks his apostles, who do people say I am? What are they talking about? Who do they think I am? And they said, oh, they think you're Elijah or Jeremiah or Moses or whoever, a great prophet. And then he said, who do you say I am? You've been with me. Who do you say I am? And Peter said, you're the Christ. You're the one we've been waiting for. You are the Son of God. And Jesus says, I am. He didn't say it in plain words there. He said, you're blessed, Simon. Only God could have given you that wisdom, that knowledge. And then he made Simon, he changed his name to Peter and made him in charge of the church. But he told these apostles there, I am God. It's a weird thing. Jesus is fully human and he's the Son of God, but at the same time he is God. I don't know how that works. I can't wrap my head around it. I just have faith that it's true. And that the Holy Spirit is fully Spirit, but fully God. And that Jesus was sent to this earth. God came down to this earth as a human to teach us how to love him and how to love each other. And then he gave us the gift of the Holy Spirit to be with us always. It's a gift we get at baptism. And the Holy Spirit never leaves us and is constantly trying to lead us back to God. And so I think this is a question that we need to ask ourselves. Who do we think Jesus is? Who do you think Jesus is? And before we can really answer that, I think we need to go with what Jesus himself said. He said, I am God. I am God. Come down to this earth as a human. So I think there's only three ways we can view that. Either, number one, Jesus is lying, and he knows he's lying. He's a con artist. He's just trying to get something here. He's trying to trick people and get something out of them, whether it's fame and glory or money or whatever it is. That's one option. But Jesus nowhere in the Bible does it say Jesus profited in any way from all that he did here. In fact, it says he was tired. He was exhausted. He was hungry. He had people talking bad about him all the time and being mean to him. And then they arrested him. He got turned in by one of his best friends. And he was tortured and murdered. I don't think if he was lying and he knew he was lying, I don't think he would have carried that lie out to the very end. I think he would have skedaddled and gotten out of Dodge way before that. I don't think he would have let things get that far. So cross out number one for me. Maybe not for you, but for me. Number 2 is he was lying, but he didn't know he was lying. He's just crazy. He's not in touch with reality. And, excuse me, we've had that, right? There are people in this world, probably right now today, who think that they're God, and they really, really believe they're God. But they're also not in touch with reality. They have a mental illness. And we know that because you can't hide you're crazy. If you're crazy, it's gonna come out. If you're not in touch with reality, it's gonna come out in different areas of your life, not just that one. And no place in the Bible, nobody who met Jesus, not even the Pharisees, none of them said that Jesus was crazy, that he wasn't in touch with reality. Nobody's ever claimed that Jesus was not in touch with reality. So that leaves number 3. He's telling the truth. He is God, come down to earth as a human to teach us how to love him. And that's the one I choose to believe. Jesus was telling the truth. He is God. He's also human. Can't wrap my brain around it, but that's a tough one, but I believe it. I have faith in it. So what do I do with that? Okay, I know what Jesus thinks. I know what I believe. I believe he is God. So what do I do with that? If I believe that Jesus is God, and he came down to this earth and said, you need to love God and love each other, because at some point in time, it's all going to come to an end, whether we die naturally or whether the end of the earth comes, the end of times. But it's all going to stop at some point. And when that happens, our choices and what we did on this earth is going to determine our entire eternity, forever. And Jesus has told us in the Bible, he flat out said, you will have, I'm not quoting him word for word here, but he's in essence saying, you'll get to live with God for all eternity in complete happiness and peace, with no sickness, no injury, no illness, no anger, no sadness, happiness for the whole rest of eternity. I think I'll take that, because the opposite is a whole eternity of misery. So if I really, really believe that God is real and Jesus is real and he came down here to help us to learn how to love God and love each other, then I need to start loving God and loving other people better, because I want that whole eternity of happiness thing. And so I think that has to be my purpose on this earth. That's why I'm here. I'm not here in some big waiting room, waiting until I die so I can go and be judged on whether I was nice or not. Because nobody is going to be nice enough to get into heaven. Nobody is going to be kind enough and loving enough and charitable enough to earn their way into heaven. We're not. We mess up. We mess up all the time. Everybody does. Being the nicest, kindest, most loving person on the planet, it's a goal. It's a nice goal, but we're never going to be perfect at it. We're never going to be Jesus. Our purpose is when we start falling, when we start to get mad, when we start to get scared, when we start to get jealous, when we start to crave things, when we start to, I don't know, what else is there? Jealousy, envy, anger. When we start to have any of those bad feelings, we need to stop. Take a breath just for a second. Take a breath. Close our eyes. Picture Jesus or the Holy Spirit or whoever you want in your mind and say, oh, Jesus, I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling mad. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling whatever. And I don't want to. I want to love you. I want to love other people. Show me how to trust you. Show me how to love you, Jesus. Touch my heart. Show me how to love you the way you deserve. Show me how to love other people. And then it's not going to be a big whoosh and we're, skipping through a field of flowers. But God will break a little piece of that sadness or anger or jealousy or anxiety or whatever it is. He'll take a little piece of it and it's gone. He'll break it away. So if we do that 20 or 30,000 times a day, we are going to feel so much better because we're doing our purpose on earth. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I know who God is. I know who Jesus is. And so I better make that my purpose because the stakes are high here. All eternity, stakes are high. Our purpose is to get to know God better and to get to know Jesus and to get to know the Holy Spirit. And he gave us directions. He gave us the Bible. Everything we need to know is right here in the Bible. So I better read it, right? But it's so hard. The Bible's not an easy read. So that's what we're doing with these videos. We're going through these stories and we're relating them to our own lives so we know how to love God better. So we know how to love Jesus better. Because I don't think Jesus was lying. I don't think he was crazy. I think he was telling the truth. And if somebody asked me who I was, I have all kinds of answers. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I'm an employee, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. I've got all kinds of answers. But if you keep narrowing it down, you could say, well, I'm a woman, I'm a human. If you keep narrowing it down, at the very bottom, at the very core of who I am a much loved child of God. And my purpose for being here is to get back to him. Nothing else. Everything else I do needs to be focused on that, with that in my mind. And it's hard to do because I get all caught up in my own life and my own problems. But I'm working on it every day. And I'm hoping that the more we work on it, the easier this gets. I don't know. I'll let you know when I'm 99. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you are a much loved child of God. And he wants you back home with him for all eternity. He loves you. Well, I hope you all have the best day today. Bye-bye, everyone.